What's going on, Raider Nation? I did a Trevon Moehrig breakdown, but I had to pull it off. There was something went wrong with when I created the video. I guess it really lost a lot of fidelity. I was really shocked to see how blurry it was and everything. So not sure what happened. We're gonna go again right now. We're gonna try it again here. So if you saw the Trevon Moehrig breakdown already, I think there was like 300 views before I took it down. If you saw the Trevon Moehrig preview already, this time hopefully it's a little bit more clear. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me fine. If the when I share my screen, if the screen isn't choppy, everything, the quality is good, let me know. Okay, so also make sure you follow us on Twitter, myself at BDWilliams18. Follow my co-host Marcus Johnson at the Mark John NFL. We're not doing a full show today. I'm just going to show you guys a little Trevon Moehrig breakdown, what to expect from him and Paul Gunther and Patrick Graham. Whoa, don't say Paul Gunther, right? And Patrick Graham's scheme. And really, when I was going through Patrick Graham's scheme, I was trying to figure out how this defense works. One of the biggest takeaways I had was Trevon Moehrig is going to be featured in this defense, and he's going to have a lot of opportunities to be that guy who's taken away the primary read from the quarterback. He's going to be in that situation a lot more often. So I'm really excited about Trevon Moehrig. I mean, there's things that he's going to have to clean up. Obviously, there's things that he's going to have to get better at, and that's fine. That's great. But I think that he's going to be in a position to make more plays than he did in the previous years. Okay, so let's check it out here. Yeah, and I had to take it down. I didn't like the quality, so I apologize for that. Let me know, guys, when I share my screen here, when I go through this breakdown, if you guys are seeing it. All right. And let me go find it here. Hold on. I'm just gonna share my screen with you. It's gonna look a little crazy at first, so apologies. All right, guys. So this is going to be a Trevon Moehrig breakdown. And number one thing is he is a post safety, middle of field closed safety, predominantly in Gus Bradley's scheme. I think early on in the year, he was targeted a lot. And I think, he gave up one of these plays where he got a crosser and the linebacker has to carry him. Gave up one of those plays against the Ravens. And I think from then on until he started making these kind of plays, he was tried a lot down the seam. And, being a cover 3 safety, post safety, you got to be able to defend the seams. And so eventually he got that cleaned up and he was, contesting catches, breaking up passes to the seams. Okay. But still, you saw teams try him. Okay, so this is disrespectful to throw a post to a post safety. Okay, I mean that's what happens. That's essentially a punt by Teddy Bridgewater right there. But you'll see in this clip, I'm going to show you why teams were trying him. Okay, so you'll see in this, he's got the post, but in Gus Bradley's scheme, he's really only responsible for the wide side of the field, and the backside is playing man. So he's not really edging over there. He's leaning towards the true zone side. And, in this right here, we see the ball is almost there. It's flying through the air. It's almost there. And he's just now reacting. And that's just not good enough. That's not going to cut it. Again, watch the ball's coming out. Watch Trevon Moehrig. He jumps his feet a little bit, plants his feet, and then reacts. I mean, the ball's already there. That's not good enough. And that's not going to be good enough. Okay. So we did see him improve. And he did start taking away those passes down the seams, and teams stopped trying him. Okay. But a post middle of the field safety also has to be able to get to the sideline once we start talking about the great safeties at that position. And we see this rep here. He does get to the sideline and breaks that pass up against Jamar Chase. And, I think that this is a good example. You see, he's completely even. The quarterback hasn't crossed this hash yet. He hasn't crossed this hash yet. Okay. But I mean, when we get this boot kind of action, okay, there's only a single wide receiver over here. this is the only option. Just get on top of that. And I think he's a little too hesitant. You'd like to see him clear this hash and be past this hash already. Okay. And getting there. Credit to him. He has the athleticism to still make it, even though he got no jump on this. Okay. He's going right when the quarterback's throwing, and he still makes that play, which is incredible. Okay. But this is Patrick Graham's scheme. And this safety right here, the free safety, Xavier McKinney, is playing the same exact role that Trevon Moehrig is going to play. Okay. And we see the difference here when the quarterback is throwing the ball. You see he's here, let's run it back here. The quarterback's going to throw the ball, but we see this Xavier McKinney, he's already past the hash before the ball has even launched. Okay. And when you get that kind of jump, this is what happens. You can come down with interceptions. Okay. So that's something that we got to see from Trevon Moehrig. Here's another one. Unfortunately, against the Raiders, Xavier McKinney had a great game, but we see, look, he's already in a full sprint. The ball is still in Derek Carr's hands. He's well past this hash. If you want to make these kind of plays, you have to get a jump on it. It's not enough just to be fast. It's not enough just to have, great reaction time and everything like that. You have to guess. You have to anticipate. And so I really look forward to seeing Trevon Moehrig take that step in Patrick Graham's game. Now, Patrick Graham loves to run fire zones on first down. Okay, a fire zone is a 3-over-3 blitz, and a lot of times teams will do this. Patrick Graham will do this against teams that like to run RPOs. Okay, and in this case, we have Xavier McKinney, who's going to come down and play coverage on the slot here, and his job is to stay outside leverage of the slot. And as soon as the slot breaks, as soon as number 2 breaks either direction, undercut it, jump in front of that. This is as good of a fire zone coverage rep that you'll see from the safety coming down that you're ever really going to see. Okay, that was a fantastic play. Now, luckily for Trevon Moehrig, Nate Hobbs blitzed a lot. Right, that was something that we noticed. Nate Hobbs was blitzing. Well, guess what? They were doing fire zones. This is already something that Trevon Moehrig has experience doing. Okay, I would say, unfortunately, though, he's probably given up the majority of his catches that he gave up were in this fire zone type of coverage. And you see him here kind of he's too far inside. Remember, we want to stay outside leverage of this. Okay. And I think that his feet, when he settled his feet, his feet got stuck in the ground a little bit too much there. And he gave up some passes as a fire zone coverage guy. This one is another example of him kind of missing the read. 2 goes underneath and 3 becomes the new 2. And what he needs to do in this situation, he needs to pass this 2 off to this linebacker, and he needs to stay on top of Jared Cook. And, he just gets his eyes caught up on number 2. Credit to him. This is wide open, but he has the athleticism, the reaction time, the ball skills to deflect this pass, but he got away with one right there. That certainly could have been beat. Okay. And this is another example right here, fire zone. Okay. He's got to stay outside leverage. Again, outside leverage. I think that might have helped him make this play. And if you remember, this is one where it went right through his hands. We want to see Trevon Moehrig capitalize on these, make these kind of plays, and he's going to be given a lot more chances to in Patrick Graham's scheme, because Patrick Graham calls this. He won't call this 2 or 3 times a game. He's going to call it on every other first down against teams that like to run RPOs. It's a big part of Patrick Graham's defense, so we're going to see Trevon Moehrig in this situation a lot more often. Okay. Another thing that he's going to be in a lot more often is these 2 high coverage shells. Okay. And we're going to go 1 for 1 right now, Xavier McKinney and Trevon Moehrig. So this is a Patrick Graham scheme, cover 5, that classic trail man, 2-man under, whatever you want to call it, 2-man, but the corners are in a trail technique and the safeties are kind of settling their feet at 20 yards and getting ready to break downhill on anything. Okay. And we see Xavier McKinney pass the first crosser off, but then come drive down on this dig here and make a fantastic break on the ball out of a cover 5 rep. Okay. And now I think that Trevon Moehrig is going to excel in this because this is probably what he was best at in college anyways, was playing in these 2 high coverage shells. And we see a kind of similar look right here. His feet are settled at 20 yards. Okay. And he's going to come and drive now on this bender. And he just does a great job of closing that space and playing through the hands, playing through the catch point there, breaking that pass up. So I'm excited to see Trevon Moehrig being able to be in that position a lot more often. Okay, here's another one, that cover 4 rep. And we're going to see the safety now. Instead of pedaling, he's going to have more of a flat foot read around 12 to 15 yards, and he's going to drive now underneath the crossers. Okay, and he can test that catch. Trevon Moehrig is going to be in this situation a lot more often. They didn't run that kind of cover 4 necessarily with Gus Bradley, but cover 5, they had a slice call where everyone, instead of playing trail man, they stay on the upfield shoulder, and now the safeties are kind of keeping their feet, settling their feet around the around the sticks, and we see Trevon Moehrig kind of make a similar kind of play, as what will be asked of him in some of the cover 4 looks that he's going to play in under Patrick Graham. So again, I think this defense is perfectly situated to feature Trevon Moehrig. Now, man coverage, and this is with a question mark, because the free safety and the cover safety in Patrick Graham's defense does not come down and play man coverage. Okay, really, Gus Bradley hadn't used his free safety like that in years previous either. But when you have someone of Trevon Moehrig's skill set, potentially using him as a matchup guy against tight ends, I think is a exciting thing. We see in this rep here, he's going to use that strong inside hand, even though he's probably opening up too much here, but he has that strong inside hand to let him make that tight end fight through his leverage there. And he does just a great job of just strapping this tight end up. They use him sparingly. This is a free play because Yannick Ngakoue jumps off sides here, but he's in man-to-man coverage against Travis Kelce, and he does a good job of staying in that back shoulder because it's a cover 5 rep, stays in that back shoulder, and then contests this catch right here from Travis Kelce. I think it's exciting if Trevon Moehrig is capable of doing these kind of things. It's exciting for his potential. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing now. Let's get back over here to the browser. Stop sharing. All right. Okay, so so I'm super excited about Trevon Moehrig in this defense. We saw him make strides, right, as a post safety, even though that's probably not where he was comfortable and what he did most of the time in college, but we saw him make strides there. I think that he can still get better as a post safety, but what he's best at is playing in the 2-high looks, these 2-high shell looks. And he's going to be asked to do that a lot more. He's going to ask to play some man coverage, some fire zone, stuff like that. So I think that, he's going to be featured a lot more in this defense. Before, he was probably in the post, maybe about 65, 75% of his snaps, right? And then occasionally you're going to see a 2-high look, or occasionally you're going to see a fire zone, but it's, few reps here and there, change ups mostly. But the majority of the game, he's that deep post safety. Now in Patrick Graham's defense, he's going to be, doing all these things a lot more frequently. It's not going to be just one thing the majority of the game. So we're going to be able to see him do those things. I'll go through the questions now. If anyone has any questions, I did see that that Dwayne Haskins passed away. Rest in peace for sure. That's tragic, incredibly tragic. He had his whole life ahead of him. I wasn't sure if Raiders fans were going to be in on that too much, so I didn't want to bring it up because it's not a Raiders thing necessarily. But yeah, Dwayne Haskins passing away, just incredibly tragic this morning. Let's see if there's any questions here. We get Divine Diablo breakdown. Yes, I will break down Divine Diablo. There was very limited. What he was asked to do was very limited. He was basically doing the same thing every play. He was the weak hook defender in cover 3. So he did that a lot, and I think that he has some good tape doing that. But he's going to be asked to do a lot more stuff in Patrick Graham's defense, and I don't know if I have the footage of Divine Diablo to one-to-one to show what the weak side linebacker does in Patrick Graham's defense, and showing that Divine Diablo has already done these things in the NFL. I don't really have that footage, so a lot of it is projection. But I am confident that Divine Diablo is going to have a really good year. And let's see here. So I think it's interesting to note Xavier McKinney in his first year with Patrick Graham as a rookie, he had 1 interception. Trevon Moehrig also had 1 interception last year as a rookie, and now Xavier McKinney became he had 5 interceptions this last year, and I do think Trevon Moehrig is even more talented than Xavier McKinney. So if he can put together that kind of film, that get that level of understanding of the game, I think that he definitely isn't going to be in line for a lot more picks. He should have got more picks really this last year, but certainly contesting a lot of catches, breaking up a lot of passes. I'm confident that we're going to see that from Trevon Moehrig. Okay, I got asked about a 3 high safety look. So I did not see much 3 high safety stuff from Patrick Graham this last year. I think it's on the table for sure because this is, the scheme that is proving very difficult for the Patrick Mahomes and the Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allens to throw against. So I anticipate that, every team is going to have a 3 high safety package. And Raiders shouldn't be an exception. Let's see here. See if there's any other questions. Can we get a Jonathan Abram breakdown? How can he be used? Okay, so this is a question that is really stumping me. And I don't know if he's going to actually be a safety next year. And if he's going to play like basically, he'll be a strong safety. He'll play deep. He'll play in the slot. He'll come down. He'll move around a lot. And that's what Patrick Graham strong safety usually does. Or if he's going to be a sub player only, like a sub package player only, like Jabril Peppers was for Patrick Graham this last year. He only played the nickel. He only played on the second level. So, I don't know who's going to play that strong safety position if not for Jonathan Abram. But I'm also not super confident in him being able to do that. But I can do a breakdown of Jonathan Abram. I think that if we're being honest, he's a better athlete than Trevon Moehrig is. But his footwork isn't as refined. He's very antsy. He guesses a lot. You see him playing in a half turn and bailing and then, giving up plays underneath and stuff like that. You see that a lot from him. So he's just got to trust his technique because he's a fantastic athlete. He's got incredible burst, but just the football IQ and everything like that, we're not seeing it out there necessarily. And then Gillespie, it's so weird because he just didn't play last year. So, I mean, I already went through his college tape, I thought he was more of a strong safety than a free safety. So I think that it's either going to be him or Jonathan Abram. They're kind of like the same kind of player, honestly. But we'll see. All right. And then who are our best 2-gap technique defensive tackles? I think Jonathan Hankins definitely has proven that he can do that. I'm watching Vernon Butler film, and Vernon Butler certainly should be capable of being a 2-gapper. We'll see who remains on the roster. Guys like Kendall Vickers, who was kept around last year. He's more of a single gap penetration guy, not really a 2-gapper. So I don't know how that's going to work with Kendall Vickers. But I think we're going to see the defensive line play multiple techniques, whether that's single gap, 2-gap. You might have both of those things happening on the same plays because Patrick Graham has a very unique, exotic front, and the looks that he gives you in the fronts, that's the majority of his scheme. The back 7 stuff is like pretty standard NFL stuff. It's just a lot of volume of it, but we're not seeing he's not trying to rewrite the book in the secondary, but he is rewriting the book in the fronts. So that'll probably be a breakdown further on down the road because honestly, I have to learn more because I'm getting stumped with some of this stuff that I'm seeing from him. All right, Raider Nation, that's it from me. Again, this was just going to be a quick one. I hope that the video quality was better this time. I hope that the audio quality was good. Make sure you follow us again at BD Williams 18 at the Mark John NFL. Make sure you subscribe. Tell everyone about the Raiders Film Channel. Tape don't lie. We give you guys, the best breakdowns, the most in-depth breakdowns. That's it. I'll let you.